Welcome guys to my channel, Talk That Talk with T, which is me, where I talk about all things on my platform: positivity, motivational, uplifting, encouragement. Don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe. And happy new months as well. It is December, the final month of the year. 2019 is about to close. And I think in my last video I was talking about reflection, right? So there's another emotion that we tend to go into when it comes to this time of year. But I'm not going to ramble on for too long. Let's get into the video. Welcome guys to my channel. Welcome. I hope you guys are good and I trust you guys are blessed. So what's mommy Afia talking about today? What's she gonna talk about today? What is new on the agenda? So last week, I think it was last week, I was talking about reflection, how normally during this time of year or this season we tend to go into the reflective mode, right? You know, to ponder upon how the year and suss up how the year has been for us, right? So there's another emotion that we tend to go through during this time of the year. Happy new month, first and foremost, everybody. Happy new month, my birthday month, December born, December babies. Where you at? Holler in the comments. But yes, today's topic is called cutting season. Oh yes, cutting season. So what you tend to find, like when it comes to this time of year, you see all the memes, you see all the posts, you see all the comments. Yeah, I'm gonna cut this person, I'm gonna cut this, fake friends, this, fake that, ex-boyfriends, ex-girlfriend, ex-wives, ex-husbands, everybody. You're just cutting everybody, right? It's a time of year and where we filter all the bullshit, all the unnecessary, and try to move forward into a new year with positivity and good light, right? But I'm gonna just slow our roll here. Everybody's talking about cutting this person off, cutting that person off. But the truth is, before we do all this cutting off of anything and filtering through all the the toxic mess in our life, you need to start with yourself. What do you need to cut out of your life within yourself? What are certain habits that we have been through out our years of life, or just even this year you may have picked up a new habit this year that is not necessarily a good habit and is not benefiting you in any shape or form. So before we go out here saying I want to cut him, cut her off, let's look within ourselves. What are the changes that we need to make? What are some of the habits that we need to drop before we enter into the new year? And it's just like in life, when we are having any dilemma with anyone or any kind of discrepancy, we tend to point our finger and be looking at left, right, and saying, oh yeah, I blame you for this, I blame you for that. Trust me, I do a lot of blame. But then what are you learning when you're just pointing the finger of blaming this person, blaming that person? We need to sit down with ourselves and actually analyze, yes, sit down with yourself, sit down with you and have a conversation with yourself and ask yourself, okay, what are certain patterns and traits that I have that are not good and not benefiting me or making me become my, better self? We all strive to be perfect. None of us are perfect. I don't think we ever will be perfect because we're human beings, but we always have to strive to be better than we were before. And it's okay to be, well, it's not okay to just be pointing our fingers and be saying, okay, I'm going to cut this person off, I'm going to cut her, him, she, whoever off, but yourself. There's certain things. What do you not want to take into 2020? What do you not want to take into the future? Where are certain elements within yourself that you know are hindering you? And as I said, this time of the year is a time we reflect, is a time we filter, is a time we have a new awakening about life and just like, oh my gosh, the favorite hashtag, new year, new me. No, new year, old, the same old you. A new year will only be a new you if we sit down with ourselves and decide to cut certain things, certain habits, certain like toxic behaviors that we have that do not help us to become our better being. You will just go into a new year. The year will be new, but best believe, oh yeah, believe me, everything will stay the same. Everything will be like it was. And it only comes with, like in the Bible, it says, renewing of our mind. We need to renew our mind daily, constantly. And these are the challenges that we face and we fight each and every day because we're human beings. Like, you know, people rub us up the wrong way. People cross us in certain ways. But then real change and impact starts with ourselves. Like, we can't control what people do to us, but we can only control what we do to ourselves. And what we do to ourselves is paramount because it comes out to everybody else. It overflows onto everybody else. So sit down with yourself and ask yourself certain questions. Okay, all right, there's a certain habit about me I just keep on doing and I keep falling in this habit. Like, and every time I fall in this habit, I'm never happy. So I believe you want to be happy, right? So stop doing the thing that doesn't bring you that peace. But it's easier said than done because a habit we keep is something that we've kept on doing over a period of time and it becomes the norm. But no, it's not normal. It is not our norm. Who has taught us that our habits are our norm? And they can become our norm when it becomes your character, and that's a dangerous level. So you assess what certain things within ourselves that need to be cut or first need to be addressed, because the only way change can happen is first if you acknowledge when you first have first take like responsibility. Well, first you need to acknowledge, then take responsibility, and then with that responsibility comes action. And that is the point at which I believe many of us are at. Like, okay, some of us, we know the changes that we need to make, but then the responsibility, you know, actually taking ownership of the situation within yourself, that is a fight. That's a constant battle. Or we are in denial and we think that we are just perfect and everybody else around us needs to change. Hence the reason why you decide that, no, I want to cut him, her, and everybody off because they're toxic to you. But have you ever sat down with yourself and thought that you may be toxic to yourself? Yes, guys, so this is just I will say, word of wisdom, just as we go into the new year, just to encourage all of us that the year will always be new. The year always changes. The date of the year always changes. But what we need to concentrate on more is us, ourselves. If we want a new change, then we need the certain requirements that we need to take ownership of in order for those changes to be made. Because it will just be a new year, but it'll be an old you. If this year wasn't a good year or you made poor choices, whether poor choices through whatever reason, and you regret those choices, what can you do differently now? What can you do differently tomorrow? And it's not about going to the past and kind of changing the past. The past is already written. It's already been done. The only way we can change the future is by what we do today. So if you don't like the you that is today, and you're not happy about certain things that you have, choices that you've made today, don't beat up yesterday, person. Fight for a better change for tomorrow by fighting for today. Yes. And cutting people off, yes, there's certain people in life you will have to cut off. But that's down to yourself. I'm not here to tell you, oh, cut this person off, cut that person off. I believe you know, if you sit down with yourself after first filtering out toxic energies within yourself or bad character traits or habits within yourself, and just filtering yourself first before you end up filtering outwardly, I believe that you should have that conversation with yourself. If a certain person doesn't bring you joy, doesn't bring you peace, and that's not to say that the person should make you happy all the time, every day. Because the truth is, no one in this life is going to make you happy all the time. And I'll leave that for a separate video when I talk about happiness. But you have to make it make sense. Because at the same time, you don't want to burn bridges now that you later want to cross. So think about it. If that person or that thing does not bring you joy and doesn't bring you peace, I will say peace, because with joy, you're happy today, tomorrow you're not happy. Someone cannot constantly make you happy. Happiness comes from within. But if it doesn't bring you peace, like regardless of the storm that may be happening, if there's no peace within yourself, then you need to sit down and ask yourself certain questions. Can I see myself taking this person or this situation into the future? And ask yourself, these are questions that only you yourself can answer, and between you and God. So pray about it. Sometimes we get caught up in our emotions and we just think to ourselves that, you know, making decisions when we are angry and making promises when we are happy. But we should learn how to be sober-minded. And I say this to myself because at times I've made decisions like everybody else when I've been angry. And I said a few things when I've been angry, believe me, but I've learned with that to be calm down when, not calm, yeah, you need to calm down, but you know, don't talk when you're angry. That's another video as well. But then at the same time, don't make promises when you're too happy, because when we are too happy out in these streets, we are promising each and every individual, you're promising the stranger that you're going to come back next week and, you know, help the person out. You're promising your parents, you're promising your friends, you're promising your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your wife, your husband, whoever, whichever. We are making promises when we are the most ecstatic. And then when we're angry, we are making final like decisions that we later end up regretting because of our anger. So when we are in this season of cutting season, as I call it, filtering season, whatever way you or shape or form you want to call this season, when you're just looking through like, what kind of energy do I want for next year? Start within yourself, but at the same time, after you start within yourself, as you go on to others, make sure that the decisions to why you are cutting certain people off or certain situations off are not based from an emotional state, because you don't want to burn bridges that you later want to cross. So guys, thank you so much for tuning into my video, and I'll catch you up on another video. Have an amazing rest of the day.
Yeah. Yeah. Cut it, 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 cut it. Them bricks is way too high, you need to cut it. Your price is way too high, you need to cut it. Cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it, cut it.